Right, hello, welcome again to the Genee Spark webinar. I'm John Nelson, and this session we're looking at an exercise called calculations. Now, just to remind you that if you go onto our website, any resources you need are easily downloadable from there. There's the crib sheets, which has got an outline of what we're doing today if you want to recreate this, practice it, or share with colleagues. So that's there free to download and print off. Let me just close that. Well, I'm just using two slides today. They're pretty basic, but just to save time, the Spark slides are downloadable as well. So what I'm going to do now is open up that first slide. Now, what we're doing today is very straightforward. It's simply making use of some of the built-in tools. Spark has quite a few built-in tools, and we're going to use this for problem solving. Obviously, the tool we're going to use is the calculator. There are others, but the calculator is a nice one to start with, easily accessible. And what I've set up here is a picture with a problem on. This car starting out from sunny Wolverhampton and is going to drive to London 137 miles away. This is just an image I've downloaded from the internet just to set the scene. So we've got a couple of questions here. And again, nothing too difficult, but the purpose is to see how we can use tools to help us. So first of all, first question is, how far is the round trip? So to access calculator, it's very simple. Go to tools, there's calculator. So click on there and there's our calculator. So not a particularly difficult problem, but we notice that distance from Wolverhampton to London is 137 miles. And if we start that calculation for the round trip, we enter, just as you would on a real calculator, 137. Again, simple sum, we can either double it, times it. So let's go for times 2. And we get the answer. The round trip is 274 miles. Easy enough. We could have done that without the calculator. But now we're going to use some of the functions that are built into the calculator to help us with the next question. So that's the answer in miles. The next part of the problem is, what is the distance in kilometers? So what I need to do with this calculator is go into view. So if I click on view, and you can see the setting at the moment is standard calculator basic. The one I'm looking for, and again, you can see from that, we've got different versions, scientific, programmer, statistics. But what I need is basic unit conversion. So that extends the calculator. The calculator's still there, but on the right-hand side now, we've got some windows with options in. So again, very straightforward. Type of units I want to convert. It's not an angle, but the drop-down window, I'm going to go for length. So length, enter the value. So the value is, we calculated 274, and they're not angstroms, measures of light. That is 274 miles. And again, we need to correct the bottom conversion, and we're trying to change to kilometers, kilometers, and that calculation is done for us at the click of a button. So this is where calculators come into their own, earn their living. So 274 miles, the answer to the second part of that question, 440.9, so 441 kilometers. So very simple to use that and get the answer. And now we've got another part of the question. We're told the car used 6.5 gallons of petrol for the trip. What was the MPG, the miles per gallon? So what I'm going to do now is go back to view. And again, drop down, not unit conversion. We're going for worksheets, and hidden in worksheets is fuel economy. And again, it's going to make it very simple. So fuel economy, enter the distance. And again, we're still on 274 miles. And fuel used, we've given that information 6.5. So if I enter 6.5, 5. Click on calculate. Again, that's not a bad MPG, 42.153, so 42.2 miles per gallon. So that's, using those calculations, that's our miles per gallon. We can extend that. So again, this is something I may have pre-prepared for a maths lesson. And don't forget, this screen is infinite, so I can move this round and keep doing calculations. So if I just move the hand sign here, move that round, I've got all this space to spread out if we want to try further problems. Let me bring the calculator back, because what I'm going to do is just one more fuel used. Now, what I'm going to do here is ask a question. If I want to drive from, so it's a verbal question, from John O'Groats to Land's End, so the length of Great Britain. Now, I actually know, thanks to Wikipedia, on the road, that is 880 miles. So I've got that information. Fuel economy. So the fuel economy we worked out, so let's round it up to, or round it off to 42 miles per gallon. Calculate. So to drive the length of the country in the car, you can see there with its fuel consumption is going to be 20.95, 21 gallons of fuel to run the whole country. And again, we might want to do a further calculation. 21 and, whoops, let me just click on there, try again. 21 gallons, and petrol at the moment around about £6 per gallon. Whoops, let me just, so let's start again, sorry, 21 times 6. So that's how much it's going to cost us in this car in petrol to drive from Land's End to John O'Groats. So the calculator gives us a lot of access to problem solving, using that to help us in lots of different ways. Right, that's simple and straightforward. Sure, that's going to be useful. Just going to do a couple more things. So as I said, this is a fairly straightforward session, but just to give you some ideas how you can use the tools. Just going on to my next page. Again, I'm going to use the calculator because there's lots of different ways you can use this, but just to give you the idea, I've got a picture of the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. Got some information here, which I pre-prepared, born 21st of April 1926, crowned on the 2nd of June 1953. So I've got a couple of questions now. How many days has she reigned up until today? So I'm going back to my calculator, so tools, calculator, and go back to view. Still on standard, and I'm going to worksheets, sorry, to date calculation. And in date calculation, you've got calendars on there that you can use for this very function. So how many days has she reigned till? We've got the present day on here. So if I go back to this one, if I click on the dates, she was crowned in 1953. So if I just overtype 1953, that was April, and that was on the 21st. Okay, so if I put calculate in there, so we get that until now, she has been on the throne for 61 years, 1 month, 3 weeks, or the question was how many days? So a nice big number there, 22,331 days. Just for comparison, she is the second longest reigning monarch. Queen Victoria reigned for just over 63 years. In fact, Queen Victoria is 23,226 days. And the Queen, if she's still on the throne in September 2015, will overtake her. Okay, so that's basically it. Lots of different ways. Oh, how old is she now? We'll just calculate that. So let's have a look. she was born. Let me go back. She was born 21st of April 1926, so overtype 1926. And I did make a mistake before, didn't I? I think I've made her a few weeks short. It was June she was crowned. Let me go back. April 21st. So she's 88 years, 1 month and 3 weeks. I think I actually made a mistake on the first one, so I'm just going to check on how long she reigned for. So that was 1953. It's all good practice. June. So that's 06. And it was the 2nd of June. So it's actually 22,289 days. So I may have shortchanged her a bit on that one. So very simple. If I just go back to view worksheets, just to show you, there are 1 or 2 other things you can do on there. Work out your mortgage, sure that's useful. Vehicle lease, 1 or 2 other things that might be useful, particularly for older children. So that's using the calculator. Very simple tool. Great for setting up problem-solving sessions. Spark is really useful. It incorporates some really good tools. So I hope that's been useful. And again, a very simple exercise to share, very easy to prepare for lessons. So good luck with that. That's our little bite-sized session with Spark today. And again, that will be on our web page. So thank you for watching, and I think that is where I'm going to close. So thank you very much indeed.